Hey, how's it going? Dan Mayo here. This is RuMayoNation. This is the finale of Season 1. I've decided to treat this podcast to a format that consists of seasons. Episode 30, cue the titles, do that. Yeah, how's it going? All good here, thanks for asking. It's the 31st of March, it's a Monday. And I thought, do you know what? I thought, got Easter holidays coming up, and we're going to try and potty train our daughter. We've tentatively gone in on occasion to try and make that happen, and it's not gone well, so we're going to go like full boot camp style-y, so... yeah, just want to kind of clear the diary. Also got a funeral and, like, not my own, obviously. This isn't my note. And I've got far too much to do still. Monster Energy flavors. Got like Monster Energy flavors to try. I've got a new one here, and it's been winking at me. That's with an I, not an A. It's been winking at me for ages, where it's been sat in the fridge. And there's been times I've been so depleted for energy, and like really just wanted to dye my hair blue. And I thought, I'll get all the bravado, all the chutzpah I'd need to do that via the old taurine straight up in here. Get mine right in here. Already I've distracted myself. Just this already, it's like luring me in. It's very like, you can watch this on YouTube, by the way. Just put RuMayoNation into YouTube. It's got like a quite attractive, I guess, vampiric type holding an apple, which is kind of on brand actually because of the whole Snow White film, the whole poisoned apple. That's still only floating around a 1.8 on IMDb. But yeah, we've tentatively tried to toilet train her. It's not gone wonderfully well, so we're going all in. Got a funeral, and then I thought, you know what, 30 episodes is a nice round number. To, make the most of that sort of 2-week Easter holiday. Just sort of recharge and come back for season 2. So it's only gonna be like a 2-week hiatus after this. But yeah, just a bit of time to sort of like, regroup and go again, because I've not got anyone who edits it. Nobody wants to be suffering, pausing and playing and putting all the obscure references in this. So it just takes a lot of time. And I think it just take a bit of time and then, come back recharged, back stronger, etc. But obviously, this show's going to be excellent, and I'm reading through the sort of brief notes, and do you know what? It's a really good summation, because there's some classic hits coming back in. There really is. By the way, in the last video, there were 26 separate video clips that I had to find, from like mildly obscure to just patently absurd, like a Magic Grandad episode on Louis Braille I watched in primary school. So I'm going to try and make less references in this one to give me less to do. It's not going to happen, but before we get going, we're going to crack this bad boy. And it's juiced. This one's not 0 calories and therefore not exactly healthy like the other ones are. Once again, it's just lovely. Ooh, no. It's not bad. It's a bit like, when you're in student nights and you get them £1 shots, but they're not proper shots. They're not like, your tequilas, your vodkas, your sambucas. They're like aftershocks and, those weird, really sort of like soury, bitter ones where you can just drink a whole bottle. You don't get pissed. You just feel sick. What flavour is it? Obviously apple. Sorry, bad apple. Who's a bad apple? Carbonated energy drink with 6% fruit juice. Take it back. Entirely healthy. All fine. B vitamins, sugars and sweeteners. Come on, there's only a bit of pretty. There it is. Tempted to try? We hope so. Juiced monster bad apple isn't like anything you've ever had before. Forget your regular apple juice. Consider it gone. Bad apple is so good, it's almost worth getting kicked out of Eden over. Alright, okay, a bit of like Bible-based, some biblical rhetoric in there. It's got a crisp, dry apple flavour. How can liquid be dry? That's not too sweet and goes down smooth. Sinfully great taste and packed with a full load of our legendary Monster Energy blend. Unleash the beast! That is literally the slogan from Role Models, isn't it? This shit is poison. There. It's alright.
Taste the beast! Drugs. Why do kids take drugs? Because they're awesome?
As always, it's going to peak Gerard, PK, when I've done recording, and I'll be an incessant tit on my own for a couple of hours before I pick my daughter up from preschool. I just dropped her off. And like, sick thoughts.
Oh, sick thoughts. I used to have sick thoughts.
Like, I pulled away and thought, what if she somehow ran out the gate, seen that same spider that comes exclusively to distract whenever I record this podcast? Like, I got into my head, like, what if she slipped out the gate like fucking Harry Houdini and I didn't notice it and nor did anyone else, and she's going to be at large for the next 3 hours, and like, gee, like, I know that's mental, but like, I had to circle back and see if I could see her. Can you see it? The little bit of kid. That is just already with the references. That's from like Alistair McGowan's Big World Cup. Well, we got a bit of stick for that, I can tell you. Can we see it? The little bit of stick. Here's the clip, yeah.
What was the reaction from the lads?
Oh, well, they're giving me a little bit of stick for that one, Hazel.
Really? Can we see it?
What?
Can we see the little bit of stick?
But yeah, so I was like, can I see her over the fence? Thinking, okay, it looked like a bit of a pedo now, so that's silly. But then I thought, what reason could I have for, like, you know, getting back in? It doesn't make me sound mental. Because I thought, do I just phone them and go, hi, this might sound insane, but is my daughter there? Like, hello, is my daughter in? Could you come out to play? And they'll go, yeah, like, you dropped her off? Are you ill? And the answer is obviously yes, but she's not been in there enough times for them to understand it's like a kind of quirky, fun ill. I've had to do it with the boys at school. Phone up and go, hi. This is when I was in a bit of a patch, to be fair, where I just weren't doing well, like the OCD, and like legitimate OCD, not like the, oh yeah, no, I just have to like have my books in order on the bookshelf. I'm talking like as in having to check door handles like so many times and convincing yourself that you might have accidentally unlocked the door while checking if it was locked, and racing thoughts about how, yeah, the twins, when I used to drop them off at school, they'd done a similar sort of prison break basically, but at least they'd have each other. And I'd phone up and be like, I think I just went into reception actually and just went like, are they here? And she was like, yeah, they're here. I was like, okay, cool. And I realised that makes you just sound mental. So I was like, what reason could I give for checking? Then I saw there was a hoodie on the back seat, her hoodie, covered in paint still from when she was last there, and belly flopped some paint. Why not have just washable water-based paint? I don't know. Good question. But I was like, I'll just hand her that. But realising it's well hot today, so now I just like a neglectful idiot dad, like, I will insist on her wearing thick woolen clothing when it's 40 degrees. But yeah, I sort of floated at the gate, and then a bit too long actually, because they hadn't noticed I was there. And it's like, there's only so long you can stand by the fence of a preschool without getting some sort of suspicion. The security is lax, to say the least. And I was like, can I just give you this? I'm sure she won't need it, but just in case. And to be fair, she was lovely. And I was like, is she all right in there? Because she missed last week where she had tonsillitis.
I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
She's like, oh no, yeah, she's well away. I was like, oh, it's just 'cause it's been a week, and like, I just wasn't sure she'd be a bit. I say that as if she didn't just completely fuck off. And the woman who worked there went, "You gonna say goodbye?" She went, yeah, bye. I'm like, okay, cool. I don't think this was like ego, but like I noticed her ponytail was wonky, so I was like, oh yeah, it's probably 'cause I've done her hair wonky. She's just judging me, like she's annoyed at me. Just a bit of a joke, but maybe somewhere like within that, it's kind of like, yeah, no, she does love me. Shut up.
Fuck you.
But yeah, so she's there now, and we're here, and let's get on with the show. Oh my god! So yesterday was all go. I think that's part of why sometimes I can like kind of backtrack and see why maybe I'm feeling a bit erratic and struggling to kind of like, you know, orient myself on like simple, sensible reality. And I think it's because yesterday was quite all go with it being Mother's Day. Mothering Sunday. My mum come round, my mother-in-law come round. Obviously the people that live here were also present. My dog's a fucking knob whenever anyone's about, so it's just a bit like all go. I'm doing that thing with doctors close their eyes when they're trying to tell you important stuff, and it's not that important. Stop it, Megan, UnASSeptable.
Megan.
And that will come over to season 2, by the way, but we're going to try and get some new gimmicks as well. But like, it was just a bit all go, and do you know what? Do you know what I'm so good at? And my eyes are closed because this is important. Do you know what I'm so good at? Arguing the toss about stupid shit and finding a way of being right. So, my wife, making an effort, I've since discovered they're called charger plates. Don't know why we don't just have analog plates anymore, but apparently these are called, obviously just being silly there, a play on words. It's a plate for your plate to go on, right? And the idea being that it catches the food off the plate and it doesn't go on the table. And I was just, to be honest, I think when I'm in sort of an uncomfortable situation, rather than hiding away, I just seek conflict to like take control of the situation. So if I'm feeling uneasy, I don't know, say I have to go to like a Christian, like christening or something, I'm more inclined rather to just sort of sit quietly and maybe just flick through a hymn book. I'm more likely to go, so come on then, explain why God kills children. I'm more likely to let's at least control the explosion that's in my mind. But like, I was like, let's just start an argument about charger plates. So I was like, this is just, and do you know what started it? Because my wife was like cleaning it away, and then she was like, oh, can you just wipe down the plates, like the charger plates? She didn't call them that. I can't remember what she called them, placemats, I think, but they weren't mats, they're plates. And like, I'm like, what was the point in these? I think it's because I had to put them away. It was right faff to get back in the cupboard. I was like, why did we get them out? And she's like, my mum was like, because it's just nice. Why is that nice? That's not an acceptable. That's an unacceptable reason, right?
Megan.
But then I was like, what's the purpose of them? What's not what's the sort of oeuvre? What's their sort of like inclinations? What do they stand for? But like, what's the point in them? And then my wife was like, oh, it's to catch food from coming off the plate. And I'm like, yeah, but then there's just shit all over this. And then I was having to like, and I was like, what do I do with all this then? She's like, well, just sort of brush it onto the table. But then that's defying the point of why we had it out in the first place. So it's gone on that to catch it from the plate. It's then gone on the table anyway. This is stupid, right? And then my mother-in-law, who knows what I'm like by now, and knows I'm just basically doing this on a wind-up at this point, but still I'm fervently believing that I'm right and this is well worth having this sort of like, this endeavour is well worth it. And I was like, she was like, oh, he's just finding something to like wind you up about, just don't rise to it. I'm like, no, I'm not, Claire. Like, I am, 100%. But I was like, let's do this as a thought experiment. This is what I mean, like, it's just a fucking charger plate at a nice Sunday dinner. Why am I trying to find conflict in that? And then I'm like, oh yeah, do you know what? I'm just a bit not with it today because how stressful. I'm the reason it was stressful. And I'm like, right, can we all agree if we had 20 pseudo plates underneath the one plate we're eating dinner off of, can we all agree that that would be silly? Right? No one wanted to answer because I think they knew I was about to get them with logic, right? Logic that involves 20 fucking pseudo plates. Would we all agree that having 20 pseudo plates underneath the plate you are intended to eat your food from would be silly, right? Eventually, Claire, realising I weren't going to stop asking that question, went, yes. I went, okay, so then from that, can we then not conclude that having one plate, pseudo plate, underneath the plate you were going to eat off, definitely then qualifies as being somewhat silly? Boom, lawyered. And you can't argue with that because I'm fucking right. I'm right, baby. Yeah, the atmosphere was pretty shit from then on, but I was fucking right. Alright? Oh my god, by the way, went food shopping earlier, and it was so much more of a breeze than what it was last week. I went on Tuesday for some reason, and I don't know, I've not read the manuscript, but Tuesdays at around 10:30 at the Aldi that I shop at apparently is geriatrics hour. Fuck me. Like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna like apologise to old people listening, but no one old is listening to this, right? Or young, or middle-aged, or anyone. No, we're doing all right. But not so much views on YouTube. I will do clips. But like, fuck me. Like, so many old people and like proper. I'm thinking this is a roaming cliche, just divering and taking forever. At one point, just two abreast, tee-hee, like just having a chat. Oh, did you go to that meeting in the end? Effle! Like, single file or do this afterwards. At one point, right, I was trying, when you feel like you're just following people, and I think, how are you simultaneously 10% the speed that I am, and yet we keep being in line with each other? How is this happening, right? But she's like, my trolley's in, the trolley's got to go somewhere, right? So full disclosure, my trolley's kind of in her way while she's trying to get the shit in somewhere. She's doing her podcast, like, this little skinhead twat. Like, but anyway, but then she's like leaning over my trolley to reach the thing, and I see this, I'm like, oh, and I go to try and move the trolley, and like, she's like, oh, I'm like, no, I'm just trying to move it out your way because at the minute you're about to fall into my trolley. That's what's going to happen here. And there's a small part of me that would want to treat you like Maggie in The Simpsons in the opening credits, which don't get shown anymore, by the way. There's a distraction for you that I've just gone down. Got my digression pad. Let's talk about old ladies in trolleys in a second. Old ladies trolleys. Not a euphemism. This is erratic, I'm aware, but just come with me. If you've got to 30 episodes by now, then you'll be fine. You'd have sort of got into the cadence. If you are new here, hi, it doesn't get any different. So, The Simpsons don't show the couch scene anymore. Like, it's just not a thing. I saw a video about how, like, what's gone wrong with The Simpsons, and I don't watch it. I don't know if it's gone wrong. But tell you what is crazy, Marge's voice is well different. Well, she just couldn't keep up that sort of eat your vegetables thing. Like, eventually she's like lost her. Yeah, sounds a bit bizarre. Because then they did this singing one where she had to sing, and the whole kind of premise of the video or the issue they were taking was, well, that we then had to believe, and the whole aging of The Simpsons, fucking. As I'm saying this out loud, yes, the eyes have closed again. As I'm saying this out loud, I'm going like, why am I getting into this with so much depth, right? And I was getting into something with just as much depth, with my wife last night, and I'm not going to say what, but like it was something I just didn't need to go into so much depth about, all right? But it actually weirdly is to do with the you could probably work that out or not, it doesn't matter. But like, the time frame of The Simpsons, you had to kind of accept they didn't age. Do you know what I mean? But the idea was that, like, Homer and Marge, when they were sort of, you know, college age, school age, it was kind of in the 70s and 80s. But then the idea was that they were actually around in the Y2K, and they did a musical about the turning of the millennium, and that they were school kind of age then, which is a bit of a jarring kind of thing to have to accept, right? But also, what was the other thing that they were saying? Like, they were going down like the sort of A, B, and C strand structures of the episodes. It's very deep divey, but long story short, they've cut out the couch scene bit. But that would be modern day sensibilities, isn't it? People like my Arsenal TikTok, for example, you've got to say something worth grabbing within 4 or 5 seconds, or they just won't bother. And you know, TV shows now, you have to skip the titles sort of thing. Game of Thrones didn't give a fuck. We're just like, nah, this is it. It's like 4.5 minutes long, mate. Basically a fucking program in and of itself. But yeah, they've cut all that out, which is a bit bizarre. But anyway, in the original one, when they scanned Maggie through, if an old lady was to fall in my trolley in Aldi, I'd want to carry on my shopping as was, like I'm trying to buy her, and see what she came out as. All right? There you go, we got there. I'm already on a proper up today. And then this is going to kick in. I'm going to have so many good ideas that I'm not going to follow through on. Right, okay. Oh, tell you what I've weirdly got into as well. Speaking of trolleys, which have wheels, which are kind of like cars, Segway. I found myself watching Sim Formula 1 racing. It's like the World League of it. I don't know how I've been watching a bit of Formula 1 stuff, obviously watching Drive to Survive, and watched the Senna biopic last night. By the way, that's incredible. Like, what a driver. Like, you're watching him, you think you could put him in an absolute shit bucket with wheels and he'd still beat everybody. Insane. It's so good. So good. R.I.P. No, she's not dead. She's just left TikTok. He is, though. He's not dead, guy. Are we?
It's gone. She's not dead.
But, like, it's so good. If you're not into Formula 1, it doesn't matter. Still watch Drive to Survive on Netflix. It's exceptional. And that Senna biopic is so good. It's a joke. But anyway, I think my algorithm's getting on. And by the way, oh my word, I'm so over... Ping pong ding dong fully at this point. Your phone's definitely listen to you and then post adverts based on what you've said, and I won't hit anything different. My daughter's been on antibiotics, right? So we're going to try and get some like probiotics in her to like get her levels back up, because antibiotics like eradicate, right? They don't discriminate, they just whoosh, right? So we're going to try and get some live culture yogurt into her and that. So I briefly, that's the first time I've ever said the words out loud, live culture yogurt, and that's because I heard Claire say it yesterday, sort of before I turned the atmosphere sour arguing about pseudo plates. But I said that to my wife. I went, yeah, we need to get her like Yakult or something like that. And then, what do you know? I'm scrolling Instagram. You're like, confirmation bias. No, fuck off. I've not seen a Yakult advert since like the Vietnam War. And all of a sudden, an hour after I said it, I'm getting like, have you considered buying Yakult? Or how did you know? Fuck you, conspiracy, tinfoil hat on. Yeah. But anyway, sim racing. Like, the algorithm knows. And it's actually quite good. To the point where I set an alarm on my phone, another weird alarm, and I've got a podcast with a mate of mine that's still in the pilot phase, but we speak about weird alarms we have. Boring. Where the final was the next day, and I set it to like watch it, and there's this guy called what's he called? Like, I want to say like Gunra, but I suppose he's like He-Man. F1 World Series Sim Racing. They just raced, obviously, like it's the proper tracks and the proper cars, and that sort of that line between sim and reality is getting closer and closer. But this guy, he's called it's gonna annoy me. Like, he was on a mad one. Like, they do like all like the lane changes and all that kind of shit. Lane changes, like the wheel changes, and obviously the weather conditions and all that sort of stuff. So this guy at Opmere won, but like there's this other lad who's like, mate, he was just on a fucking madness. So his racing strategy, they have like teams they talk to, they box at certain times and all that kind of shit. It's something raw, like boom raw, like I say, something like that. But like he went on like hard tyres and basically fell right down the pecking order and gave himself like 5 laps to overtake the whole fucking like the whole grid, and he managed it. It was insane, but he was chucking it in. And then it got to the final, and he had to do like a madness to like, that was just to keep it alive. Do you know what I mean? And then he had to do another madness, but then he ended up crashing, got front wing damage. I was getting like right into it, but just I know as I'm watching it, I'm like, this can't become a thing. I don't have the time for another like hobby, and I'll get a little itch of like, oh, I should buy Formula 1, like I should buy the video game of it, like. But it's all, I say they've got all the pedals and they're sat in these bloody. I'll get some pictures up, you'll see them. They're all sat in like cockpits, and there's like interviews and there's commentary, and the people are all so autistic. And that's me saying it. I can say that because I've got the badge, right? They're so autistic. Whenever they do interviews, the amount of people in the live chat on the YouTube just saying eye contact, they just will not look at the presenter. They're like, obviously, no, it's good, yep. And obviously your race strategy's gone the hard compound tyres, and then obviously to try and like get yourself from back to front. Risky strategy, but one that ultimately paid off. Yeah, it did. That's what I did. Like, they're so awkward, but fuck me, they can drive. And like then weirdly again, because algorithm, I got put on this like Red Bull series on YouTube where they got a sim driver who's like a top brass driver, because the Formula 1 teams all pick their drivers and that. And he is a exclusive sim driver, and then they put him through like GT sports car driving, like real driving, F4, F2, and eventually he drove like an F1 car and was getting. I'm not talking he's getting Verstappen levels of speed, but like with the GT sports car, but it was within like 1 second. I think like half a second off the like GB Junior champion. That's how sort of like transferable. And with Drive to Survive, I see them doing the sim racing and think, how much could that? But apparently, like this kid. But I'm watching it, you can see the actual physical real driver in the GT sports car type. He's getting a bit 5p, 50p, because it's like he's only been doing this for like a week, like, and he's fucking within half a second of my time.
Now I'm panicking.
Yeah, don't panic.
No, I am, because I'm going to lose my job.
It's pretty crazy. And do you know what? That's really cool, because I had a mate who was called Craig who was really into karting and was very good. But it's so expensive. They reckon, I think I've read somewhere, you spent £1 million before you get professional on like upkeep of cars and all that sort of shit. And I'm sure sponsors get involved in that, but he never had a chance. But maybe that's quite a good way of making it far more accessible to, the rig can be pretty expensive, but nothing in comparison to, the real cars. And by the way, with Senna, before the sort of technology of cars, I mean, you see it. I mean, he literally dies. There's others that die in it. You're watching it going, well, yeah, of course. There's no protection at all. It's mad. You think you put this halo in, like, and it was only a few years ago. You think, what if something flies up and hits him in the head? It's a fucking good question. Has nobody thought? Nobody. That's mental. But yeah, there you go. So that's my latest kind of hyper focus. I've got to walk away from F1 though, where I'm getting a bit too in watching Senna Drive to Survive, like sim racing. I'm going around the fucking, like the apexes in Aldi, knocking grannies off, going full Bumrah, whatever it's called. I think he's actually a cricketer for India. Is it He-Man? Oh man, honestly. He-Man, I think it's the Tiger. No, he wasn't called Herman? No, that can't be him then. Who's Bumrah's a cricketer? Right, I can't put you through this, me thinking out loud. Is he in Thundercats? It might be. Character, what a funny character.
Wow.
What?
Have you seen the season finale of Zack and Cody's Sweet Life on Deck?
I don't know what that is.
Unreal. Every arc, every character, Zack, Cody, they're all there.
What are you doing?
I'm actually burning some incense right now for a fire ant that I stepped on a hike in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Chitra Panthro. Pumra? She was like the quite hot cat, wasn't she? I've lost the internet. That's the universe's way of saying, mate, move on, and I will listen to the universe. Right, yeah, but that's Formula 1. Why was he even saying Bumrah to start with? Oh, it's because of the guy's name. It sounded a bit like that. Yeah. Anyway, right, okay. The metaphorical rope, we just follow it along. Speaking of cars, and car insurance is an absolute shakedown. I've had to insure my car. And listen, I can't complain that much because my premium's really cheap because I drive barely any miles in that car, and like, yeah, it really, for me though, like, it's, you know, still a hit. The bit I can't work out, and it's got up like 10 quid, like, obviously, without saying, my renewal price was like 30 quid more, and I've then gone on the comparison sites, and then I did it at the beginning of the month when I was skint, and then went to it at the end of the month where I was still skint but just less skint, and it already got up 10 quid. So you know, they're just making it up as they go along. But what I can't work out, and I'm sure this was once the case with your loyalty, right? Where's that money going if I don't use it? Like, if I don't use it, and this is a bit Megan, so I'm going to chuck it in here.
Excuse me, Megan, that behaviour's unacceptable. I don't like it.
If I don't use it, some portion of it must carry over, right? I'm talking from the age of... Look, I've had one crash, which weren't my fault because he had muddy lights and I didn't see him brake. He actually tried to claim injury, and I think that got the case kind of dropped. But I've been crashed into once, but my record now, that was years and years and years and years ago. But if I think about all the money I've put into insurance and not had to even touch it, like, it's sickening. It's a racket. It's a shakedown. Like, surely, and again, that's where I guess that loyalty would have been, hey, you've been with us for 8 years. You've chucked in, you know, when you're 17, 18, we're talking like 2-3 grand, right? But then it goes down to sort of your, you know, 1,500, 800, 600, 500. Mine's about 200 quid, right? Which I know is not a lot as far as it goes. But if you look at my conditions, you'd get why, right? As in my, where the car's kept and stuff. Like, if I disclosed everything about my actual conditions, I ain't even getting insured. I'm getting those quotes that you used to get when you're trying to insure a car at 17 and it's like 36 grand. Basically, fuck off, mate. We ain't touching you with a shitty stick. But yeah, like, my Punto is worth 500 quid. Like, come on, mate. But like, that loyalty surely would have been once upon a time. You've been with us for years. You've chucked a lot of money in. You've never taken anything out. So we'll see you right this year and your premium will be progressively cheaper. But it just doesn't exist anymore. Do you know what's fucked as well? If I did the deep dive now, tinfoil on, I guarantee all these insurance companies are underwritten or basically controlled by like 2 or 3 actual conglomerates, like, for sure. So actually, they're offsetting prices to show competition, but it's all going to the same fat fucker with his big fat pockets. It's sickening, and I don't want to get all weird mouth dude about it. I've got similar hair to him, you know, the one who's like talking about like taxing wealth, not work, and he's absolutely fucking right. But it's disgusting what's going on right now. He's so good, by the way. I don't know his name. What I do know is my neighbour brought him up the other day. And I went, oh, what? The one with the weird mouth? This guy, right? And he went, I don't know. How can you not know he's the one with the weird mouth? He sort of talks like this. He's got to, you know, talks like this. But he's speaking so much common sense. He spoke about how, like, post-COVID, the average person's, like, you know, basically 20 grand worse off. And the billionaires are, you know, just hand over fist, just making bank. And he's like, if we pause the economy now, took 20 grand from everyone who wasn't already a multi-millionaire billionaire, took the 20 grand off them, gave it to them, and then unpaused and carried on, where would we be? And it's destitution, just everyone's fucked. He's like, that is what has happened since COVID. So why are we getting taxed? Like, my wife, who, you know, works fucking hard, like, this is the most political this has ever got. She works fucking hard, she gets paid, and then like nearly 50% of her money just fucking goes on tax. We get our bins picked up fortnightly, like potholes all over the place. And I say, oh, it's a different tax. The point still stands. NHS is on its ass. Like, it's so fucked. They'll come in and swoop in and take 50% of your money, right? But then you get some cunt who's a fucking billionaire and not getting taxed. He can inherit 10 billion and he'll pay fuck all. If you tax 50% of it, like a billionaire, someone's got £1 billion, which nobody fucking needs. £1 billion, right? I'm spitting all over the place here. Facts as well as saliva.
And it's a fact.
£1 billion. If you tax 40% of that, he'd still have 600 million. Guess what, mate? You'd be all right. You'd be all right. So fucking, like he says, with his mouth, start taxing wealth, not work. It's bullshit. And this is the same with the fucking insurance companies. Same with the energy companies. Where they're posting record profits and yet we're still having our bill go up. Are you fucking sure? It's bollocks. And we all just tacitly accept it. And what do you even do? This is the thing. You go down such a rabbit hole with this sort of shit. It's mental. What I'm saying is, I shouldn't have to pay, really, any more than maybe 100 quid to insure my poxy little fucking VW Polo. What is good is the value of my car's gone up weirdly. People aren't buying new cars because people can't fucking afford to buy new cars. But yeah, all I'm saying is I shouldn't have to do my own filing, all right?
It doesn't mean I have to do my own filing.
Speaking of cars, and we were, right? This is very angry now. This is taking a turn. This is Charge Plate 2.0. Is it just my wife who doesn't ever answer a question properly? I think I've spoken about this in the past. The most specific recent example, right, was, so I will message her because by the time it gets to like nearly when she'd be home, I'm drowning, right? It's exhausting. So what used to happen is she'd message going, leaving now. And it's like, leaving now. All right? I'm leaving now. She'd say, leaving now, right? Oh, excuse me. And that would just make me know, okay, about half hour, right? Got about half an hour. Reinforcements arrive. I'm in the trenches. My bullet belt is looking scarce. Like, you know, I'm depleted. I'm tired. I've got half hour. Just keep it tight at the back. Nothing silly, and we should be all right. But that sort of stopped happening, and that's fine, right? I'm a bit, again, I like to know when people leave because then I can anticipate when they're going to get there. Because again, my brain races, and like, you know, I'll see there's a crash in Cumbria, and it's like 5 hours away. And I'm like, oh, just checking you're not in Cumbria, right? Which is again fine, whatever. Again, conditions. But I text her going, oh, like, and this is pretty standard routine. I'll go, oh, hi, when are you back? And then she'll go, oh, you know, an ETA, blah, blah, blah. Right, sometimes. Or sometimes she'll pin me her location on WhatsApp. But what she's got to do now is I'll go, hiya, when are you back? Then she'll reply, I'm in the car. And it's like, that doesn't answer the question. Like, you're in the car. Okay. Question number 2, how long have you been in the car? Is the journey you're taking home going to go via Newcastle, perchance? Just an ETA, right? Just an ETA. I'm in the trenches here. Like, I'm like shaking. I'm a shitting mess. I'm shell-shocked. My daughter's loving it because she doesn't have an off button. Wonder where she gets that from. But yeah, I'm in the car. Brilliant. I'm like, do you know what I mean? Oh yeah, what sort of time do you want to meet up? I'm actually on a boat right now. Yeah, just a little, you know, pet peeve. I love you. Yeah, you should be listening to this because I don't make her. That sounds really... She says she enjoys it and I, for one, believe her. Speaking of cars, we kind of were, 2-wheeled cars that don't have an engine in them that you pedal with one foot. Scooters, they're called, and I know already I can hear that future me has gone forward in time. And my wife is tutting and rolling her eyes. There has been a bone of contention. A bone of contention. And that is, it all started from when my wife said to me, and let me preload this actually. She is the best person in the world. She is my favourite person, right? I would happily just sit in squalor with her happily. And do you know what I'd give to just sit in squalor and have nothing to do? I was thinking this the other day. Like, just to have to sit there and just watch. Like, I spoke about my mate who can just like... he went to watch Snow White the other night in the cinema. And I think, mate, you've just got too much time. Give me some of that time. Like, this isn't fair. This is like the billionaires and the have-nots, right? How are you just going, oh, fuck it? No! You need... It's borderline infuriating. I went to watch it. It was about an 8 o'clock screening, but even then there was still kids in there. The parents were just letting them get up, run around. Yeah, they fucking do that, mate. That's all kids do, right? But to have that time to just watch shit, like I tried to get him into Severance. It's taken us a fucking leap year to watch it, and then he messaged me going, "Right, I'm up to date on Severance now." How on earth, right? But I'd sit and swallow with her. Like she's, as I say, my favourite person in the world. You know, my daughter, it's a different world, ain't it? Like it's a different kind of love, right? For legal reasons as well as sort of social ones. And that said, this all started because she's a cunt. No, this all started because she went, that was just a funny thing to say. This all started because she said to me, I'm not going to get the boys Easter eggs this Easter. I'm going to get them scooters instead. Huh? Sorry? We're going to just run that again because that line doesn't make any sense, right? Whoever wrote this script, we're not going to get them Easter eggs. I'm going to get them scooters instead. Where is the equivalence between an Easter egg? I know they've got a bit silly with their prices, but they've not quite got to scooter levels of cost. And we're not talking the e-scooters, by the way, because never in a million fucking years would they be having them. I'm so anti those. And not like the whole, like, you know, you can rent them, they're illegal, you shouldn't be... I don't care about that sort of shit. It's the laziness that is ingrained in the use of them. If you're using it because you work 10 minutes, 10 minute scooter away, which should be a 35, 40 minute walk, okay, fine. But if you're taking your e-scooter to pick your kids up from school, like, come on. This is setting a really bad example. Laziness is probably the biggest issue. Do you know what solves so many problems when it comes to like obesity and things like that? Walking more. It's such an accessible exercise, but it seems as though people are hell-bent to do whatever they can to walk less. It's low impact. It takes no recovery time. One of the best things I did to drop a lot of weight, and you'll see the footage on last week's episode, when I was definitely quite a lot bigger, right? I up my steps to sort of 15,000, which is quite a lot. I walk when I read and I do things like that, but I'll go out of my way to find an interesting documentary to watch when I have time, or a YouTube video, some sim racing, and I'll walk. I mean, well, if I'm sat here and have the time to watch this, I might as well be walking at the same time, right? If I'm reading this book or whatever, it also helps to concentrate, because physically I don't have to be like, so, but yeah, walking, right? So I'm really against e-scooters, but these are just your bog standards, and this all came from them going, oh, mates, they just casually mentioned, oh, mates take scooters to the 3G, and I'm like, those scooters that you're going to get them, sort of standard stunt scooters, right? Standard stunt scooters. They take just as much effort and move just as quickly as if you were to just jog, right? This isn't solving an issue, because there's no issue to solve, right? But anyway, they're £45 a piece. I go to pick them up, and they've had a bit of a couple of weeks of it, and / months of it / years of it / their entire existence, where they're still not really, season 1 of this podcast, you'll know, like, just even that week, I was, biscuit wrappers that were left just on the side. The chopping board hadn't been wiped before they went to school. Loads of clothes on the bathroom floor. The bathroom left in a state. Room's not tidy. Bed's not made. Toothpaste all over the fucking shop. Like, they're already not kind of keeping on top of the basics, and all of a sudden they're getting like scooters. And then I pick them up and I see on the receipt they're £45 a piece. I'm like, we've nearly done a oneer on scooters. Like, no, we haven't. No, funny you should ask. No, we haven't got a dartboard yet. No, we haven't. But yeah, again, separate story, different pots, right? I'd say for different needs, but they didn't even need a scooter.
Different drinks for different needs.
Right, so I did get a bit like, what are we doing here? When did Easter presents become a thing, Megan? When did it stop being, what eggs you want? Oh, a mini egg one. All right, perfect. When did it stop being that and it become a present at Easter? I don't know when that happened. They didn't need it. But anyway, right, it's a bit of, and my wife, to be very clear, agrees with me. Like, it was kind of a, we give you this on a condition of, or you don't get it yet. But then we're like, right, we're going to do reverse probation. You can have them, right? Because at the same time, I've set up a new games console for them where my mum's partner passed away. Like, my mum's kindly given us that to help have a console downstairs and upstairs so they can get a bit of separation. They're getting to that age now where they just need a bit of time. But whoever went downstairs got the short straw because there was, just telly. I said just telly. There was, oh God, there was only a 55-inch TV in that room. The humanity. But yeah, so they've got that and scooters, and it's like, okay, so boys, right? Listen, you've walked into about £350 worth of gear here, and you've done nothing for it. Do you reckon you could just keep your shit together, like just get on top of things? Within 20 minutes, we had to go back upstairs because they were crashing and banging around in their bedroom, and I'm like, oh, karate. But anyways, and then it's get out your school uniform, because they put their school uniform on when we collect them from their dads. It's a long story. We won't get into it now. And you go upstairs. You ain't done that. And it's like, oh, good. They're not listening. And like, they come down. If you brush your teeth, oh no, like, like you're not doing the basics. And then by the next day, like, they're just again not doing the basics, just leaving mess. They have breakfast and they leave crap all over the table. But it's like, I'm looking at them like full Will Smith, like right there.
Where? Right there.
And anyway, they go out on the scooters to the 3G. They come back half an hour later, right? Because there's a football game going on. They said they can't get on the 3G yet. And they're like, oh, we're going to go back out though. I'm like, okay, cool. And then Ben from Bill and Ben the Flower Pot Men goes, oh, can I just take my bike instead of my scooter? Oh, he's already done with the scooter. He's already done with the scooter. That would have been a combined total of about 7 minutes of scooter time. And he's gone, do you know what, actually? Nah. Full queen, nah.
Not really.
Obviously, I'm like Forrest Whitaker eye in full effect. Like electronic, hydraulic Forrest Whitaker. Like, it's insane. And do you know what else is weird, right? A bit more sort of like lighty. I think it's like, so they ride Goofy and their mum does the same. Because we made them, obviously, and when I was a big kid, I had a bit of a swazz about on them. In the kitchen, they ride Goofy. So for me, left foot is stabilizer, right foot is my power foot. I kick with my right foot. Football's not people. I'm not some sort of like football hooligan. But there's a lot of kicking in football hooligan videos, by the way. They don't really fight as much as have a little few swingy leg kicks, do they? And then get dragged away. You're lucky they're holding me back. Saw footage of a lad squaring up to the telly the other day. I'll try and find it. Oh yeah, good, another clip.
Watching you. Go.
But like they ride goofy. So my logic is stability foot, left foot by the ball, right foot strike. Scooter, left foot, stability foot, the pedal, the push with your strong foot. But naturally their mum went strong foot on, weak foot, push. And I was like, that's so bizarre you ride goofy. It's like when you get left-handers batting right-handed in cricket and stuff. So that's what feels right. I can't comprehend the other way around. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Like, and then anyway, the boys get the next day on the scooters. They both do the same. They both go goofy. They're left-footed, so they put their left foot, strong foot on, and I'm like, that's just mental to me. But it must be like a genetic thing, right? A genetic like predisposition. In the same way that like video games, where you go, oh, do you want to invert the analog, like do I fuck? Why would I want to do that? Like, so when I press down, I look up. No, I already struggle going from Mac to Windows because of that. You know, that's why I don't get any of the work done if my manager's listening. But yeah, that was a bit weird. But yeah, fucking hell. One are on scooters. And I'm kind of like, I could definitely do with that 100 quid more than they could do with the scooters to get them to the 3G that they could jog to just as quickly. So then, yeah, when he was kind of like, oh, can I just take my bike? I might be on a Netflix documentary by the end of the day. Oh, do you know what? There was whinges. I'm going to try and keep them really brief because there's no spotted at the minute, which is aware of time. So... collection, why, and this is why it's come quite nicely full circle. We will do Facebook memories as well. Do not panic.
Now I'm panicking.
This is where it's come full circle because in the early days, I had a massive issue with Royal Mail and Post in general, right? And what do you know? How beautifully poetic. A letter comes in today saying that we've been charged 30 quid by BT because we didn't return our old equipment like hubs and TV box. We upgraded and then you have to send it back, right? We absolutely did do. We got the letter today saying they're going to take the money on the 29th. So that was 2 days ago. But obviously it's actually come out today because that was a Saturday. 30 quid because we've not returned it. Now, because I'm neurotic and detail oriented only for really petty things, I will take a picture of everything I send, like the receipt, and send it into my wife and my WhatsApp, right? And I've had to go full matey boy from Yellow Jackets, like, find the receipt because it didn't have an actual tracking number. Find these Arvato people around January when I think it was. And I send a lot of shit. Like I've said in the past, I'm a one-man sorting office, right? And I found out, okay, Arvato, this postcode, right? Okay, they're distributors of stuff. That put Arvato and the address in. People on the BT kind of, you know, what would you call it? Like vlog, customer support thing asking about this name. So I know that's them. That's the receipt. Yes, we sent it. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you. All right, there, I've said it. F-U-C-K. Have that. Deal with that word.
So I'm going to have to ring them up now. And do you know what? I can't wait. I live for conflict. See charger plates earlier. I can't wait for this because I know I'm right. Like with the Post one. Do you remember when they were like, oh yeah, actually. No, because I know I'm right. And when you're, the truth shall set you free.
And the truth shall set you free.
So I'm like, this is going to kick in, right? I'm going to be like Busta Rhymes on that phone. I'm going to be doing a diss track on them.
Everything about a boom about a big. Do a lot of things. Give it to a couple that I always within the night.
But yeah, 30 quid. And you know, if you were that bothered about this equipment coming back to you, why'd you send us a flimsy plastic bag to just chuck all the shit in? You don't give a fuck about it. It's the unit itself is worth fuck. Suck my unit.
Suck my unit.
It's worth fuck all to you. But guess what now? Now I've got a purpose today, and that purpose is to take you fuckers down. It is bullshit though, isn't it? Like, the fact that the letter come in, and now we didn't even have, because it's already come out the account, so we wouldn't even have a chance to, you know, protest that. That surely that letter has to come in, you know, a few weeks before you intend to charge us, right? And that is the point I'll be making. And if I don't have some sort of entertainment package consisting mostly of shows I'm never going to go fucking near, then I would have failed. But I can assure you I'm not going to, because I could be a right pernickety little arsehole. Can I just shock you? Oh, and last but not least, more parcel shit before I get to the Facebook memories. My wife, and this was full, like, old-fashioned couple. She sorted out a Mother's Day gift for my mum, right? And it's a little sunflower bracelet. And like, I had to go collect it. That's all I had to do. She found it. It's lovely. She ordered it. It was getting sent to a place that I'd go to usually pick up and drop off stuff for her, typically anyway. Fly. And that can get paused, so I'm going to have to maybe cut that out. Oh, excuse me. Don't want to go full Elon. But, right. I have to go collect it. I get there, and already there's 2 people that work there. There's one guy that just seems like a bit of a yoghurt, and it was him in there. So I walk in, I'm like, "Hiya, mate. I've got a parcel to collect for my wife's name here." And then he's like, "Sorry, what's that?" I was like, because he'd already sort of looked at me for about 10 seconds. I went, "Sorry, what's that?" I went, "I've got something to collect." And he's like, "What, a parcel?" "No, mate, the guy who owns this shop, actually, he's a keen kazooist. He's going to lend my wife a kazoo. He sent me behind the till by the scratch cards." "Yeah, a fucking parcel, mate." But anyway, so he's looking. And then I'm like, "Mate, just be like a heads up. It might be maiden name rather than actual current name." Then I see my wife has a message saying, yeah, it was in her maiden name. She doesn't like to go public admitting she has anything to do with me. And then I'm like, he's like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "And just a bit of extra help. It's only like a little bracelet. I don't imagine it's going to be small." And he's like, "Okay." Literally like, "Oh, okay." Then I see him picking up stuff that could keep a sort of medium-sized dog in it. And he's looking and reading the labels. And I'm like... And I've already done a few too many jobs. And my daughter's already kind of had enough. And he's looking at more big... I'm like, "Mate, like it really will be like a slip of a thing." And he's still looking at big fucking, this way up because there's a fucking giraffe inside. Like, and he goes, "Oh, no, I can't find it." I'm like, "Okay, so you're on here. You're on the system, but it's just not here." I'm like, "Okay, I feel like you're going to know more about the next steps than I would." "Yeah. It's not here, though." I'm like, "Okay, do I need to sort of follow up with things my end?" And he's like, "Yeah, probably." I'm like, "Yeah, but is there any... For me to be on your little handheld, like, tablet thing, can I be on that and it not have been delivered?" He went, "Oh, no. If you're on here, it's definitely been brought here." I'm like, "Right. So if I do follow it up with my people, my end, they're just going to say it has been delivered here, aren't they? And lo and behold, I'll be back here having this same thing again." "Yeah, probably, yeah." I'm like, full Step Brothers. So
we can?
He's like, it's just not here." I'm like, no, I appreciate... I don't want to go full supermarket sweep and get like, Dale's First Clue and start running around in a garish jumper trying to find, the digestive biscuits to take me to the pasta to take me to my bracelet. But like, what are we going to do about this? He's like, "Well, there's it might have been put upstairs by accident, but I'm the only one here, so I can't go look yet. Do you want to like come back later?" And I don't like the phrasing of that word. I'm like, do I want her? No, I want it now because I've come here now, but I can come later. More likely tomorrow, though. "Yeah, all right." So I go back the next day, and it's the other guy who's much more together. So I'm like, "Hiya, mate, collection for a parcel, da-da-da." Then he's looking through the box, and there it is. There it is, just in the crate, where he's looking the whole fucking time. Do you know what it was? It was a slip of a thing. It was a slip of a thing. Whereas he was looking for something that, like, could fucking hold a Vauxhall Corsa. So yeah, got it, but it's like... I just have such a low threshold for like stupidity, and I'm aware that I'm the biggest idiot on planet Earth, but actually I'm really quite smart. But I just channel it wrong, which is what all my school reports basically alluded to. Bags of potential. He just applied himself. I am applying myself to just nothing that makes any fucking difference in my education. All right, I'm busy doing what? Shut up. But yeah, anyway, I'll do Facebook memories. Then we get out of here. Little brief Megan, by the way. I've got a funeral to go to. Again, Mum's partner. Jesus Christ, can I open my phone without Bonnie Blue being on it? And not in that way. She just gets so much PR, doesn't she? Again, moving up your algorithm. No, your phones don't listen to you. Fuck off. My mum's obviously planning the funeral, and I was just chatting to her about it, and she was like, "Oh, they're trying to like downsell me on the coffin." Like, well, she didn't say the word downsell because she's not like a Wall Street trader. But she's like, "Yeah, they just said like, where it's only a small kind of service, they've suggested a cheaper coffin." And I'm like, but the one that it is, it's called a which is my mum's maiden name. So his thing was like, oh, it'd be like nice to, it wraps up nicely. Do you know what I mean? And I get that.
Dan wanted me to quickly clarify that he beeped the name for security reasons, as that is a commonly used security question, not because his mother's maiden name is.
And I was kind of going to mum like, but like, I'd rather hear they're downselling you than upselling you. Do you know what I mean? Being like, oh, it's only a small service. Why don't you put on some fireworks? It's only $3,000. Like, but I was like, that's good, right? Good. They're not trying to take the piss here. But But then she's like, yeah, I can't remember what I paid for. Did I pay for 1 photo or 15 photos? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, oh, well, just because... By the way, just on the coffins real quick, I think it's mental that we burn the coffin. Should we not do display case only at this point? Like, seriously, chop me up and put me in a bag. Like, I don't give a shit. But when you're paying, potentially thousands on this box to just set it on fire, could we not just have this as a bit of a display case? Do you know what I mean? And then get the person out, burn the person. And I just think it's absurd that you're paying for this thing that's just going to get literally fucking set on fire. But she was like, oh, yeah, well, I don't know if I paid for 1 photo or 15. Because there's like a screen in there. I've been to a few there because we just had a bit of a run of it. And I'm like, oh, right, well, why is it more... She went, they said because of the technical aspect to getting more photos on the screen. I'm like, that is a fucking that's a shakedown, that. Like, that is such a shakedown, isn't it?
Megan.
Click and drag. I was like, Mum, it just takes Control A, click and drag. If you're dragging 1 photo or 15, it's the same process. It might take a few more writes on the fucking hard drive. Fine. But that's a fucking farce, mate. Having to pay extra. Oh, you want more than 1 photo, do you? On a fucking Windows fucking slideshow? Yeah, that's going to cost you.
How much money have you got? Because this is going to cost you. This is going to cost you.
You didn't mention you wanted a lavish funeral. What a piss take, Megan. But anyway. Facebook memories, for those who don't know, I go into my Facebook memories, fucking raw, and then judge myself accordingly. 6 years ago today, happy birthday, Mother Teresa. Oh, because Mother's Day. Good business. Mother Teresa, I don't... Fuck off. This have to go in. 7 years ago today, I locked my wife in the loft. I think she was up there rooting for stuff, and again, my brain went, wouldn't it be funny to just shut the hatch? It would. Do it then. Already there.
What did you say? Oh no, come on, don't be like that.
I will put that video up. I don't know if there's any comments on that. Let's have a little butcher, shall we? Oh, just her cousin laughing. Shout out Charlotte. Before the zombie apocalypse gig, oh yeah, we part of a world record, like the longest running live stand-up comedy show. It was batshit. There's so many rules, like X amount of audience had to be there, awake, crucially, which was my biggest struggle. And all through the time, you could only have an X amount of time getting an act on, off, what constituted stand-up, what didn't. It was a riot, and I was juggling that between also DJing because it was on a bank holiday, I think. I can't remember, it might not have been. But yeah, either way, I was doing a bit of DJing, going back doing a gig. That's be a certain amount of time between comedians going on. You can go on and then again in 20 minutes, that wouldn't count. But yeah, crazy. We did it in the end, I think, but then it got blown out the water by some comedy club in Nashville. I think a matter of weeks later, and they just blew it out of the water. But that was great crack. That you sort of really feel like you were in the trenches there before having kids, the original trenches, the OG trenches. 10 years ago today, frankly, autocorrect. I'm getting a little tired of your shirt. That's good. That's good. Clean fun, that. This is for whoever the fuck is. Fuck it. No idea. 15 years ago today I received... Oh, bullshit. This is the sort of... Remember the stupid lie I told about being in the next Harry Potter film? And I forgot about saying that lie, and then my stepbrother come round with his girlfriend and went, oh, we watched the fucking Chamber of Secrets, whatever it was. Didn't see you in it. And I'm like, why the fuck would you see me in it? And it was like, because you said you were going to be in it. This is what I mean, the sort of stupid lies I used to tell. 15 years ago today, I received my passport in the mail. They got my birth date wrong. Then I picked up my birth certificate that I'd sent with the application. Turns out my parents have been celebrating my birthday wrong for 18 years. Didn't happen! What's the payoff? Stupid. Attention seeking. Luckily, I've grown up out of that now. No longer am I an attention seeking dickhead. 16 years ago. It's hurting in a bad way. Knackered. Still, good game of footy. And I've replied to someone, one bloody grueling game of football. That is what was wrong. I've got cramp in my right calf. Want to come massage it, tongue out. Who was I? Who was I?
I threw up.
How old was I at 15? That would be an easy answer, wouldn't it? How old was I when I was 15? Well, I was 15.
2 + 2 is 4. -1, that's 3. Quick maths.
How old was I in 2009? That noise won't help, especially in this context. I wouldn't be doing that if I could help it. That calf needed rubbing. We all know what that becomes in videos on the internet that I don't watch. 2009, I think I started uni, so I was 18. It's all legal, baby. Don't know who commented on it, but they're going to be someone the same age for reasons that are obvious now. But yeah, there we go. We're all done. This is the end of season 1. Oh, shit. Imagine it's the end of season 1. I nearly just spilt Monster Energy drink all over my computer. Yeah. this has been really good. Thanks for those who've come along the journey. Season 2, I won't be gone long. I'm going to still try and get something here, but I'm just so fucking skint. Scooters mostly, if you're asking. But yeah, thanks very much for listening. Like, share, subscribe. I will do clips. Yeah, I really enjoy doing this, and I hope you guys enjoy, or at least tolerate it. Tell your mates. Episode 30 in the can, season 1 done. I'll see you for season 2 in about 2 weeks' time. Do you know what? Let's fucking make this official, shall we? Production. RuMayoNation. Okay, to be honest, the chalk's not great, but I bought this from fucking like Home Bargains, I think it was. Roll. Prawn, please. No lettuce. Scene. Causing one constantly. C charger plates. Just put yes there, I suppose. Shot. Not yet, but wife definitely Googling guns. Not yet. Take. There's not been too many fuck ups on this one. We did it in one, baby. Direction forwards mostly. Some would argue backwards in another capacity. Cameraman, me. Date. What's the date when this comes out? It's first tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah, it will be. Yeah, it will be a date of some description. Yes. Little sign there. There we go. You can't see anything. That was an entire waste of time. But you know what? I enjoyed it anyway. See you later. Hang on, I could get this right. Hang on.